Viewers, good day. Ben-Hur, or A Tale of the Christ, written by Lew Wallace, and it is published in 1880. And this is the story of a Judah Ben-Hur, one of the Lew Wallace, one of the most influential novel of its time. It is a Christian novel of 19th century. Lew Wallace Ben-Hur, A Tale of Christ, is the classical story of redemption and forgiveness, reimagining the stories of peripheral biblical figure from Roman tax collector and charioteers to people with leprosy, fishermen, Pharisees, shepherds, John the Baptist, and Pontius Pilate. The story traces the life of the fictional main character, Judah Ben-Hur, a Jewish nobleman from the Jerusalem whose future is upended when he is falsely accused of attempting to assassinate Roman governor Valerius Gratus, sent to the galleys as a punishment. His mother and sister Tirza are caught up in his fate, jailed, contract leprosy, and are stripped of their family's wealth and possession. As Ben-Hur life intersects with that of a biblical Jew, Jesus' compassion overrides Ben-Hur's thirst for revenge against the Romans who left his life in ruins. The narrative is divided into 8 books or parts, each with their own subchapter, and the unfolding of Ben-Hur's story runs parallel to Jesus' story. The novel begins with the story of the birth of Jesus as outlined in the Gospel of Matthew and Luke. 3 Magi, following the bright star, come to Nazareth, where Mary and Joseph have stopped on their way to Bethlehem. In labor and refused for an inn, they resort to a cave in a nearby hillside, surrounded by shepherds watching their flocks. There Mary gives birth to the baby Jesus, whose arrival is heralded by angels and the visiting Magi. Ben-Hur is born roughly at the same time as Christ, but the reader first encounters Ben-Hur at the age of 15 or 16. He is meeting an old friend of his, Messala, who has been away in Rome for the past 5 years. Messala is Roman by birth and has become cruel and arrogant in his time away, mocking Ben-Hur's country and religion, and Ben-Hur rejects him. When an accident makes it appear as though Ben-Hur has attacked Gratus, Messala confirms Ben-Hur's false guilt, destroying Ben-Hur's family, condemned to die enslaved on a ship galley. Ben-Hur is freed after 3 years when he saves the life of a Roman military commander named Quintus Arrius. He becomes Arrius' adopted son and heir, spending the next 5 years in Rome, where he learns the Roman art of war. Once Arrius has died, Ben-Hur leaves Rome and travels to Antioch, where he is to take service under the Roman general consul Maxentius. Ben-Hur hears of a successful merchant in Antioch named Simonides, whom he believes is a man formerly enslaved by Ben-Hur's father. He goes to see Simonides, but the merchant will not acknowledge Ben-Hur without proof. Simonides assigns a servant, Maluch, to befriend Ben-Hur and observe him. Maluch reports back to Simonides that the man calling himself Ben-Hur is brave and pious, and Simonides eventually recognizes Ben-Hur as the son of his former enslaver. While in Antioch, Ben-Hur hatches the scheme to take revenge on Masala, who is also in the city. Masala will be participating in a major chariot race. So Ben-Hur befriends Eldrim, an Arab man who is seeking a driver for his chariot team. Ben-Hur proves himself a remarkable driver and is given Eldrim's team for the race. In the final turn of the race, Ben-Hur clips Masala's chariot so that it tumbles out of control. Masala is injured by the accident and left destitute by the wagers he made on himself. In Eldrim's encampment outside Antioch, Ben-Hur meets Balthasar, the wise man from Egypt. Balthasar challenged Ben-Hur's understanding of Messiah, arguing that Messiah's mission must be spiritual in nature and mean for all mankind, not just the Jews. Ben-Hur struggles with his concept throughout the novel before accepting Balthasar's interpretation as he witnessed the crucifixion. Ben-Hur also meets Balthasar's daughter Eras, who flirts and acts coquettously with Ben-Hur's. Eras wiles to entice Ben-Hur despite the nagging thoughts in his mind for Ishtar, Simonides' daughter. With Masala ruined, Ben-Hur leaves for Jerusalem in hopes of finding his mother and sister. They have been sealed away in the secret cell, infected with leprosy. They are freed by Judea's new Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, shortly before Ben-Hur's arrival in the city, but because they have leprosy, they are forced to leave the city and reside in a colony for people with leprosy outside the gates. Ben-Hur is kept in ignorance about the fate of his family for several years while he trains fighter in Galilee and follows Jesus in his ministry. As the time approached for Jesus to come to Jerusalem and announce himself as the Messiah, Ben-Hur visits Jerusalem and tells people about the miracle he has witnessed Christ perform. Amra, an enslaved woman laboring for the horse, overhears him and rushes to tell Ben-Hur, mother and sister. The three women hurry to where they hope Jesus will pass on his way to the city. When Christ passes them, he cures the two women of their leprosy. Ben-Hur is among the crowd following Christ, and the family is tearfully reunited. Ben-Hur returned to his family estate that evening, where he has confrontation with Eras. Having seen Jesus in the flesh, Eras is scornful of him. She has expected the king of the Jews to be dressed in grand finery and possess a commanding presence. Seeing that service to this Messiah provide no path to earthly wealth, Eras dismisses both him and Ben-Hur as useless. Begging that Ben-Hur forgive him the debt from their wager, it emerged that she has secretly been working on Masala's half the entire time, and Ben-Hur firmly escorted her out. After his confrontation with Eras, Ben-Hur steps out into the festival crowd. The city is crowded for Passover and spots a procession of temple priests and Roman soldiers with one of the Jesus' disciples, Judas, among them. Ben-Hur follows the procession out of the city to the grove where Jesus and his apostles are staying. Jesus is arrested by the soldier and deserted by his apostle. Ben-Hur is awakened early the next morning by his officer because Jesus has already been scheduled for execution that day. As Ben-Hur watches Christ's torturous execution, he comes to realize that Balthasar's prediction about the nature of Messiah were correct, namely that he has come to spirituality, redeem mankind, and not overthrow Rome and establish a new empire with its center at Jerusalem. Upon Christ's death, it becomes clear to Ben-Hur that Christ is in fact the Son of a God, and Ben-Hur commits his life to Christianity. Years later, Ben-Hur learns that Christians are being persecuted under the reign of Emperor Nero. Ben-Hur and his wife Ishtar and Maluch sailed to Rome, where they built an underground church to last through the ages and provide sanctuary for persecuted Christians. So this is the story of Ben-Hur, or the story of the Christ, by written by Lew Wallace. I hope you will go through these pages of this novel, remarkable novel, published in 1880. Thank you very much.